Hi, this is Tony with Deconstructing a Mix by Anthony Lourdes, Lourdes. The song was recorded in 2020, was edited and mixed in 2021. So for this video, we're going to go over the drum set here, with the drum tracks. So we're going to go over that here. So to recap from another video that we did, or from a previous video, drums here were not actually, they were actually programmed, as we can see here. So number of drum tracks, let's break this down a little bit here. So the drums, we've got a mixture. We've got Steven Slate drums. Decided to check out the sampler before I go and buy the actual full version of it. And Contact 5. So let's hear the drums. Let's hear the drums just for a moment here. Let's pick one of these songs, or one of these. Let's pick the first chorus in the song. Alright, so the drums here, let's take a quick look at what we're doing. So we have Slate VMR. I tend to use a lot of Slate products. I tend to use a good number of their products on my mixes. So Slate Virtual Console Channel, the SSL 4000E series, SSL EQ emulator. As you can see here, I just simply I wrote off a little bit of the low end and then added a little bit to the upper mids. I've got the Slate FG401, which I really like, and then also the other ones are turned off. So those are the three that I have in here. Now that's for the kick drum. So if we want to hear that, but I feel like we can hear it better in the overheads. Of course, I have to go to the drum bus. This is all going through a drum bus. So now if we go to the next one, this is going to be the snare. Again, Steven Slate. So I'm going to be using a few things here. Again, SSL 4000E series. This is not arbitrary. I literally, for each track, I go through each single one of these individually. This is 4000E series, G series, etc. You know, how do they sound? I'll also compare it with the Waves NLS plugin as well, which only gives us 3 flavors of consoles to emulate. Here are the monsters. So this is Slate's version of an 1176 in British mode. So the British mode, if you're not familiar with the 1176, you're selecting all ratios, so 4, 8, 12, and 20. And then the Distressor emulator by Slate Digital, the FG Stress. I really love the Distressor. I've used the hardware ones in the past, and this is actually a pretty good emulation of it. So I love using the Distressor on snare, which is why I'm using the FG Stress on the snare here, and then SSL channel. So what I have going on here, okay, so I wrote off some of the low mid, and I don't see much else going on. I think I filtered out. No, those aren't even filtered out, so. Yep. So that's just some EQ here. So let's hear, actually I forgot to listen. Actually, we'll go back to listening to these. Overheads, I'm using Contact for variety. 4000E series emulator. API 2500. Good drum bus compressor. I use it for more than that, but I like it on the drum bus. In this case, this is the entire kit. You hear the cymbals a little bit, or really the hi-hat, open hi-hat on the left side. This is overheads 2, so this is now the Slate Digital copy of this track. Monster, again, 1176 in British mode. Air EQ. What I have going on here, so a little dip at around 2000. Oh yeah, it's too bright with it turned off. Just kind of curious. Alright, now it's our room kit. Again, Slate Digital, probably using the Monster. Yep, using the Monster. So I'm not using parallel compression in this case. Rolled it down, sorry, cut out at about 1K. That's obviously a wide bell. As you can see here, how far do I have this Q? So 0.67 for Q, gain about 3.6. Let's go through these one by one. Let's go to our bus. Our drum bus. There's no processing on the drum bus. Okay. So we're just going to go then listen to these individually one by one and turn off processors on and off. So let's go here. Whoops. So it sounds like a very weak kind of kick drum, and in fact, if I go here, it's not bad, but there you go. Has more punch to it, has a bit more liveliness to it. We go here. Let's turn these off one by one. Not bad. So this is just kind of catching some kind of peak, although we kind of don't really need it. Let's see what happens if I turn it off. No? So that's what I turn it off here. Colors it a little bit. Turn off the SSL channel. It's going to happen because I have multiple apps running to capture this. So it's a little bit beefier on the low end. Miss holding you in my arms. Darling, just don't worry about it. I'll be writing letters every day. So by getting rid of that beefiness on the low end, with that beefiness, right, that we took out here by rolling off the not the low end, I'm sorry, by rolling out some of the lower mids here at about 400 hertz. It sounds a little too weak in the mix, although now in hindsight, I feel like it sounds maybe almost thin now in the mix. So let's try it without it and with and without. I'm sleeping. Yep, there we go again. Now I'm sleeping on some lonely beach. Yeah, it just sounds a little bit better with it. Now if we go here to this, we just have a virtual console channel. Now I'm sleeping on like in quieter passages, I can hear more of it, a little bit more of the unit itself. In louder passages, like in the chorus, I don't hear it as much. Now let's go here. Very weak sounding, as you can hear. I'll turn this off.
Miss you so much, makes me feel sad. There's too much we left unsaid. To take the army to.
So it has a little bit of liveliness to it, right? So if we just hear it by itself and then turn up the volume and disable the VMR here with the Monster plugin. Hear the difference? Sounds weak, right? Here's some of that higher end. You hear the cymbal more pronounced. Let's take off the air EQ. Yep. So the air EQ kind of changes it up a little bit. It's subtle. I feel like actually I feel like this I maybe cut too much here, but let's look at the room finally. So again, LM76 in British mode via the Slate Digital Monster plugin. It's part of their VMR, and then you have air EQ. Here I'm dipping at about 1K with a pretty wide bell at 0.67 for the Q. So let's just hear it in solo and then in context. So you can hear some of the room reverb kind of coming out, being drawn out through compression. Most people don't know that. The compression can actually kind of bring about more than natural room reverb. Oh wow, so this is... So that makes a big difference, that kind of a wide bell at negative 3.6 dB. Let's hear it in context, turning everything on and off.
Now I'm sleeping on some lonely beach. Now I'm sleeping on some lonely beach. I miss holding you in my arms.
I feel like the transients have a little bit more snap with that turned off when I turn it up. So it's a bit of a compromise because the drum's all over the place, right? It's got pretty tall dynamic range. And let's see what happens when we turn off the air EQ.
Now I'm sleeping on some lonely beach. I miss holding you in my arms. Darling, just don't worry about it. I'll be writing letters every day.
Not too noticeable, but apparently in solo it seems to work, so. All right, so that's that for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you on future videos.